Hello, and today we're going to talk about some very useful verbs in Norwegian that I know a lot of my students are struggling with, so let's try to maybe clear that up a little bit. So these 4 verbs that I'm going to talk about here, you will need to memorize them. The sooner you memorize these verbs, the better it's going to be and the easier you're going to function. Like, for example, when it comes to these verbs, it's just really difficult to function without knowing them. And if you can't conjugate, meaning like putting these verbs into the 4 tenses fast without much effort, then it's going to be very difficult for you to talk. So the verbs in question is å sette. That's the first one. We have å sitte. We have å legge, right? And then å ligge. These 4 can be tricky, but I'll help you out a little bit with them. So the first verb there, things to watch out. So we're going to focus in on the function of them and then what's tricky about it. The first one is for here, the one å sette. This is used for putting things. Pretty much anything that could be possibly knocked over, right? Let's say this tripod or anything. It can be knocked down, right? Let's say it is, for example, standing. Jeg setter den der, right? And then it can be knocked down. Therefore, sette is the one you use. Some people are a little bit like, which one should I use? But that one. And the conjugation for it is å sette. You add a normal R to it. Setter, right? Setter, then that, right? Or we have then for the past tense, jeg satte, right? For example, I can even do that with this thing. I can put that. Jeg satte kameratripoden rett foran meg, akkurat nå. Very simple, really. So you have that. And then jeg har satt. The third one, the potato, make sure that you do the vowel switch from the infinitive. You have sette, setter, satte. It's instead of adding a T or D or anything like that you would usually do, you're going to switch out the E to an A. So here it's important that you pronounce the vowels here right. Jeg sette, setter, satte, har satt. For the 4th one. Please check out that video I made about the different verb tenses if you're confused about which tense to use when. Right? That's pretty much it. So, the next one we can take a little look about here is can be, let's do another one for placing things. This is going to be also very irregular. We have å legge, this verb right there. Å legge, legger. We have that one, å legge, legger, check it out, la har lagt. Check that. Yes, that is for when you are laying something down different places. Let's see if we can find something. Right. For example, we could do the book, the Norwegian book, why not? Jeg legger boka her. Right, now I'm laying it down because it's laying. If I wanted to, for example, put it upright like so, then it would be sette, because you're putting it. Everything that lays can't be knocked down. There you would use the verb å legge. And then it comes down to just memorizing these tenses, right? Legge, legge, la in the third one. There, see how this third one there could be, is a little bit tricky. That's just 2 letters. So that's why you have to just memorize it with everything you got, make some examples to it, because it's so practical, it's used so many places. I can you even have to use the stem to say I'm planning. You have to actually take the verb å legge, right? You have that there, legge, and then you add in front of that plan or planlegge. Then you get the verb to plan, right? So if you don't have that stuck fast, å legge, legge, la har lagt, that's going to be tricky to talk, right? And the 4th one there as well, har lagt, is written with an L-A-G-T, right? But it's pronounced more with the K instead of the G. That's common. You'll hear that some places. Har lagt, then that. right? Hvor har du lagt boka mi? Hvor har du lagt avisen? Right? Some small things like that. It'll go fast too, specifically in the preteritive, right? Hvor la du den? Here that goes quick. So you have to be on point here to hear that. So you have to practice, write down your own examples to it, then it gets a little bit better. Right, this is the active thing of laying something down. Let's say after this has been done. Let's, for example, I'm putting this, taking my notebook here. Legger, right? And no, then ligger. This is when it's not being moved anymore. This is when it's laying down, right, like so. Then ligger där, right? If you were to, anything is just laying and not moving, right? So the conjugation for it, so ligger, ligger. Check this out. Lå har ligget. So the fourth one, har ligget, kind of like normal, right? Usual, nothing too difficult. But the third preteritum version of it, that's the one most of my students struggle with. Then you have la and lo. How not to mix these? You try to keep them separate. Keep them in their separate boxes, right? Legge, legger, la har lagt. And then å ligge, ligger, lo har ligget. Keep these two things separately. Because if you start combining them, then it gets very, very difficult to use them. When you start mixing, it gets a little bit tricky. You want to keep these things separately, so you're able to like go through them fast and have them stuck, make some examples, try to really get comfortable with their function. You want to attach the meaning of the verb in the past tenses and so on with its exact function in your memory. And that comes from doing examples, writing your own sentences, specifically saying this when you're at the shop or something, trying to figure out situations where you can use these that will stick much better for memory, right? So then lå där hela dagen, right? For example, I would say, someone could ask you, hvor la du boka, right? You'd be like, jag vet ikke, right? Then lå på bordet. Hear that? I went from, someone asked me where I laid it down, and then I say, I don't know, it laid on the table, then lå på bordet. See how you can kind of go back and forth between these two, and the meaning is so important, but you ask me where something is and so on. So, let's take a look about then. We have the last one there. It's a little easier, but also very important. This is the verb å sitte, and how that's used. So, you got å sitte, sitter, satt, har sittet. Please don't mix it with å sette. Keep them separate like you have the previous ones. You have them very, 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 very important. So you have that, for example, right now. Jeg sitter nå, right? Och I could move around. Jeg satt där, right? Jeg satt där for en time siden, right? Or jeg har sittet I denne stolen I hele dag. There's the present perfectum with the continuation from the past, right? Jeg har sittet her og snakket om verb nå I, og så det kamera, 8 minutter, right? See how it goes together, right? Jeg satte tripoden ned før jeg startet. See, so useful, these things, right? What else could it be? Oh yes, my notebook right after the previous lesson. Jeg la bøkene I hylla, right? De ligger bøkene for norskkurs ligger I hylla akkurat nå. Right? See, all of these things works, and they go fast too. Jeg sette. So just keep practicing with these verbs and keep them separate. Remember, there is those 4 very, very useful ones, and like so much is inside them. So if you know the verb å sette, right, and you're comfortable with it, you can make, for example, the verb everyone confuses, å fortsette, right? Fortsette, fortsetter, fortsatte, har fortsatt. It shares the same stem with it. So it's more like you get more verbs for the price of one, pretty much, when you know the conjugation to it. Very, very practical. Alright, cool. So I think that's everything about that. yes, I can probably make some more videos about these four, because you gotta need, it's important. So thank you for watching. Ciao.